Hello, and welcome to Candidates Up Front. This is a public interest election program of Berks Community Television and the League of Women Voters of Berks County. Our May 16th primary election is coming up. Democrats and Republicans will vote for judges, school directors, and county, township, borough, and city officials. The deadline to register to vote is May 1st. To check your voting status, go to votepa.gov. That's vote.pa.gov. You can register, change your party, locate your polling place, or apply for an absentee or mail-in ballot. The deadline to register is May 1st. The deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot is May 9th. The League is interviewing those candidates who wanted to be interviewed in contested races. For each race, the candidates will get the same basic questions and the same amount of time to answer them.
Hello, I'm Bill Litvin, a member of the League of Women Voters of Berks County. 5 candidates are competing in the Republican Party for a chance to be Berks County Commissioner. They are Michael Rivera, Christian Y. Leinbach, David Golowski, Maria Bogdanova-Pfeiffer, and Mark C. Scott. Republican voters across the county will vote for 2 to be on the fall ballot. The Board of Commissioners is the chief governing body of the county. The 3 elected at-large members perform the executive and legislative functions of county government. Their term is 4 years, and the current annual salary is $110,339 for a commissioner and $113,678 for the commissioner chair. Please note that the opinions expressed in this interview are those of the candidate and are not the opinions of Berks Community TV or the League of Women Voters. This interview is with Christian Leinbach. Welcome.
Thank you, Bill.
Christian, please tell our viewers about yourself and why you are running.
Sure. Bill, I'm 64 years old. My wife and I have been married for almost 42 years. We have 3 children, 3 grandchildren. I've served as a commissioner in Berks County since 2008. And I will tell you, I love the job. I love the variety of the work. You look at all the different departments that we have in Berks County, from Parks and Rec to Veterans Affairs, Children and Youth, the nursing home, the jail. I think we make a fundamental difference. But there's really 3 reasons that I'm running. Number 1, fiscal responsibility. Since 2008, inflation has been about 40%, 2008 to 2016. During that time, we've raised county property taxes twice for a total of 10.17%. That is important because we need to keep our fiscal house in order, and we want to continue to do that into the future. Secondly, I'm very excited about some key areas of focus. One, our work to restore passenger rail service with the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority. That is moving forward. It will take several years before we know how successful we will be. And secondly is working with the future of the Reading Regional Airport.
What personal qualities do you have that would help you be an effective commissioner?
Well, that might be a question to ask the voters. People that have worked with me know that I'm a straight shooter. I don't try to play politics. I stand for what I believe is right. I speak out against those things that I believe are wrong. But in addition to that, I think if you talk to people in county government, they would tell you that I'm an individual that doesn't believe that I am the person that makes the difference. I believe in the power of the team. Too often, I see politicians take credit for creating jobs, take credit for the successes of an organization, and often run away or deflect and blame others when there's a mistake. I believe leadership is about understanding the value of the team around us, and it is about taking responsibility for failures when they do occur, finding out what happened, why did it happen, and doing what is necessary to make sure it doesn't happen again. So I think my record speaks for itself. and that's what I would ask people to focus on.
Are you involved in volunteer or community work? And if so, please tell us about it.
Sure. I've been involved in a number of areas. First of all, my church, very active. One of the things that I've done, I think 7 times over the last number of years, is take mission trips to Haiti. We have a sister church in Compaoré, Haiti, which is in the southern part of the country. I'm also very involved with Hope Rescue Mission, also very involved with Mercy Ministries here in the city of Reading. Longtime supporter of United Way, a leadership giver, and encouraging people that work for the County of Berks to get involved in United Way and support a number of other volunteer efforts through my church and also through the County of Berks.
What are the 3 issues facing the county that you think are the most important?
I said this in the beginning. Number one, we really need to keep our eye on the ball on fiscal issues. Recently, on multiple occasions, I've highlighted the last 2 years, the economy has been very difficult. Inflation continues to be extremely stubborn. The county has wage and inflation pressures. But more importantly, in 2020, under the Trump administration, we saw the CARES money. In 21 and 22, the American Rescue Plan money. And this is unprecedented federal spending. And many county leaders across the country believe not only is that going away, it's ending, but we could be facing some lean times. We really need to focus on fiscal issues first. I think transportation is second, and it's planes, trains, and automobiles. The Reading Regional Airport, the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority, and issues like the West Shore Bypass here in Berks County.
Many governments, including the City of Reading, have developed environmental sustainability plans. Do you see that as a useful tool to prepare Berks County for the future?
Berks County last year finished the Greenway study, looking at Parks and Rec, looking at a number of other areas, and we adopted that plan. Planning for the future, and especially looking at land uses where the county controls that, is very important. There's a difference, though, between the City of Reading and the county. Municipal governments determine local zoning, not the County of Berks. Where we are involved is ag land preservation. Berks County has preserved over 76,000 acres of active agriculture, and I think that proves that we already have a strong commitment to agricultural preservation and to the environment.
I think we're going to ask a question that you probably want to answer. Let's talk transportation. Is there enough money to bring our roads and bridges up to standard?
Money continues to be a challenge when we talk about transportation. The county, and specifically state and federal government, are still raising transportation dollars on the gasoline tax, gasoline and diesel fuel. As long as that continues, we're going to continue to see a decline in funding. If you look at Route 222 North, it is not complete, and in large part because funding ran out for that project. I mentioned the West Shore Bypass. That's the 422 corridor east of Reading leading up to Reading. There is no money for that project, and it is a major need. And here's part of the problem. When you have a gasoline tax as the base, electric vehicles are paying nothing to drive on the road. Hybrid vehicles are not coming close to paying their proportional impact on the roads. And even tractor trailers, NACO study, National Association of Counties, showed that they only pay about 80% of their impact. The legislature, the governor, and the federal government need to figure out a fairer way to fund transportation. And until they do, we're going to continue to have a serious problem with transportation funding.
Do you feel that public transportation impacts on economic development, and should the county invest in public transportation?
Well, the county has invested in public transportation, and they've done it in a very smart way, in a way that Many communities across the Commonwealth have not. And we've done that by merging with Red Rose in Lancaster and BARDA and creating the South Central Transportation Authority. We've saved significant dollars as a result of that merger. We have one entity. Greg Downing is the executive director, and Greg Downing oversees operations in both Berks and Lancaster County. So we've made a strong commitment to bus transportation. Our work with the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority is a further commitment in that direction, and I think is vitally important. You look at our community, and I think we are strong, and that doesn't include taxi service, Uber and Lyft. Anyone that's used that is readily available here in Berks County.
Are there other transportation ideas you'd like to discuss?
Right now, my focus is on maintaining and supporting what we have, like South Central Transportation Authority and BARDA. I think they do a great job, and working on growing the asset we have in the Reading Regional Airport. We're negotiating right now with the potential of bringing back limited commercial air service for the Reading Regional Airport. I hear from many constituents that's something that they want to see. The Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority is, again, another key piece. I don't think I need to bring anything in to the picture, need to focus our efforts to make sure that what we do at the airport and what we do with the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority is open, transparent, and works in the long run. I'm not interested in short-term wins that end up being failures down the road. We have to do the hard work. We're doing that right now.
Will our infrastructure, including technology, meet the needs of a growing economy? If not, what would you improve?
So one of the things that became clear, no matter what your view is of the COVID pandemic, that broadband is a serious need here in Berks County and across the country. Berks County hired a company called Lit Communications to work with the county government, along with partners like the Wyomissing Foundation, the Berks County Intermediate Unit, and last year that study was completed. The county funded those recommendations at a start of $6.3 million, and we are committed to addressing the broadband needs here in Berks County. We're in the early stages. We've had discussions with MedEd, which might sound odd, but the discussions with MedEd have been around utilizing their poles to hang fiber. Fastbridge is already laying fiber in some suburban areas of this county, and we've had serious and recent discussions with Comcast about expanding fiber network, as well as with Windstream.
Childcare is hard to find and afford in Berks. Parents who want to work are stymied by the lack of care for their children. Should the county play a role in this area?
I don't really think so. This is something that BCIU and the schools are looking at. Many businesses in the community are looking at this because it's something that their workforce needs. We do not have a particular department within the county to address this area, but it is absolutely a need. And again, it's become an even greater need as a result of COVID. It's important because we have an employment base that is probably as small as it's ever been in my lifetime. I was born in 1959. My generation is arguably the end of the baby boom generation, and there is a dearth of employees out there, and one of the ways to get employees at companies, and we're hearing this from local businesses, is for those businesses to provide child care services.
Most of the money the county spends for mental health comes from the state. The pandemic has affected the mental health of young and old alike. Is the county doing enough?
I think the county is a leader in addressing mental health, but is it enough? Where we are right now, Berks County is one of a handful of counties throughout the country that has become an example for what's called the Stepping Up Initiative, and that's dealing with mental health issues in county jails. In 2023, the #1 provider of mental health services in the United States are county jails. 3,069 counties across the United States. We've been a leader in diverting people from county jails, from our county jails, getting them into appropriate programs. However, there continues to be challenges. The state has not increased mental health funding since 2008, and in fact, in 2012, it took a 10% cut. So we are working with our legislators, with the governor, to address the funding side of mental health, but the county has been a leader in addressing that, especially in our county jail.
Building a new prison was put on hold by the current Board of Commissioners. What are your thoughts on when we should build, how large a facility we should have, and what programs we should have to prevent recidivism?
So we've done a great job in addressing recidivism. Our partner, Berks Connection Pretrial Services, their R3 programming, training folks leaving our jail in the trades has been extremely successful. People graduating from their program, the recidivism rate is somewhere between 5 and 7%. But mental health bill is an enormous issue. One of the reasons we stopped the project for the time being is because of cost, and we are focusing on the prison population. The severely mentally ill make up 12 to 15% of our jail population, and we are currently working with Tower Health, Reading Health, with Acadia, with our mental health and developmental disability partners to address treating those people outside of the jail so that they get the help that they need. That could save or cut 12 to 15% of the jail population. The other area is dealing with those that are in work release. That is about 10% of our jail population, and moving them out of the jail and into a day reporting program. That combined could save us 25 to as high as 30% of our current average daily population, which fluctuates between 650 and 700 people on a daily basis. We need to get that number right before we go back to determining what size jail needs to be built.
Public parks are a huge antidote to the cabin fever of the pandemic. And public libraries are where people without computers or internet go to apply for online jobs, or apply online for jobs. Is Berks investing adequately in these facilities?
I think in both cases, we are doing a great job. Amy Resch is the director of our library system. Since Amy's come on board, she has strengthened our relationship with the various local libraries. I want to highlight they are independent. They have contracts with the county for various services, but we do a great job supporting them above and beyond the dollars that the state is providing. With our Parks and Rec, longtime employee Kathy Wagoner is our director of Parks and Rec, Brandon Lederer. And when you look at our parks, our Heritage Center, Grings Mill, Antietam Lake Park, Stonecliff, and other programs at those parks, they are unbelievable. I put them up against anyone, and I would point out, look at the youth recreation fields. Big Show is a subcontractor. They are running programs at that facility year-round, soccer, softball, baseball, and they're running it at the private sector level and doing an amazing job. I'm proud of our Parks and Rec program, and I'm proud of our libraries.
Please give us your closing statement. You have about a minute.
I would ask people to look at our record. It's not about me. It's about the team we have at Berks County. You look at our management team, our department heads, and ask the question, are you better off today in 2023 than you were in 2008? I believe when you look at a variety of departments, Parks and Rec, you look at the nursing home. The nursing home is in the black and it is strong financially. You look at the county jail. There are challenges, but you have people at the helm that are making decisions that are humane and fiscally responsible. It's the current board and leadership that said $320 million for a new jail is too much. We need to find a better way. If you are interested in continuing a common sense, conservative approach to Berks County government, then I would ask you to vote to re-elect Commissioner Michael Rivera and Commissioner Christian Leinbach to continue to lead the County of Berks into 2024 and beyond.
Thank you, Christian Leinbach, for sharing your views with us. Viewers, please remember there are 4 other candidates for commissioner on the Republican ballot: Michael Rivera, David Galowski, Maria Bogdanova Pfeiffer, and Mark Scott. You will vote for 2. Thank you for watching Berks Candidates Up Front. Thank you very much.
You will find the Candidates Upfront interviews on BCTV and on its website and its YouTube page. And for more information on candidates, you can go to the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. Or you can contact Berks County Election Services, elections@countyofberks.com. Their phone number is 610-478-6490. And thank you for watching Candidates Up Front.